Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on, Mike?
What is up, homie? I'm
It
just
is
having a great day.
episode 221, Mike 221. It's another warm day. You know, one thing that I hate, and I don't get me wrong, I like this because, like I said, I would rather not be in the cold
Mm-hmm.
with the ice, the snow, the shoveling, and all that fun stuff. The one thing that I do hate about this, it kind of f's up my whole my whole being. I
Mm-hmm.
like my sleep's jacked up now because it's warmer in the house just because of the temperature outside, and it's difficult to fall asleep because now I'm hot, I'm constantly sweating. So I
Yeah.
got the ceiling fan on, I ain't got no shirt on, I'm on top of the blankets, it's this whole thing, and I just can't fall asleep for nothing, toss and turn, and then I start sweating. I'm thinking, geez, it's only 60 degrees. How much can my body be changed at this point? But you know what, I'm a whole mess with this thing.
Yeah. It's messing me up too. It's like this time of the year, I'm used to being under blankets, a bunch of blankets with my fan still going. Now I have my fan going and no blankets. It feels like I'm back in the summer again, and I hate it.
I just can't get used to it. And I will get used to it, but it'll be the day right before it goes back to being cold.
Oh
So
yeah.
when you wake up the next day, it's a total 180, and you have a whole new set of issues you have to deal with. Now you're jacking the heat back up. You're
Uh-huh.
getting your blankets back. It's just, gosh, and these are just little things like that I've noticed my whole life, and I just hate that because. Like I said, it's not like you're adjusting for a nice long period of time. It's just you're just adjusting
Yeah.
long enough to mess with your system,
Mm-hmm.
and then it goes back, and then you have to readjust.
Yeah, I hate it. It's terrible. I don't like it. And I'm gonna move because this is some bullshit. I'm moving off planet. That's where I'm moving.
There you go. Elon's getting he's lining up his people. They're colonizing Mars apparently.
I'm
And
not. I'm not gonna go to Mars with him. Working in
I
like
know.
working in one of his mines, trying to get my Tesla bucks to
Yeah.
get
And
something to get
Mars,
oxygen.
if you're on Mars with Elon Musk and his people, there's no one there to save you. You know what I mean? They're like
Yeah,
the weird
yeah.
shit. These are the people that show up at Epstein's Island. If
Hmm.
you're up on another planet with him, what exactly can you can't do anything. You just
You
have
can't do
to.
anything. You're at his whim.
Yeah, you're getting butt raped by the rich, and there's nothing that you could do. Nothing, Mike.
No, no.
What a hopeless feeling.
I might have to change the thumbnail now. Butt right by the rich. Nothing you can do.
Speaking of things that
Oh,
I hate, Mike, I also have you ever woke up in the morning and first thing out, first thing as soon as you're able to connect to consciousness,
uh-huh.
you're just so dead set on an idea, a thought, and it's just where did this come from? I don't even know why I'm thinking about it, but you're already just deadlocked into it, and you don't really know why. It has nothing to do with anything. Well, here was my situation this morning. I woke up, and Mike, I was so set on hating this word or this phrase, I guess you would call it. It's a
Okay.
phrase. You know how I get angry at phrases sometimes, and
Oh yeah.
the new nerd words and things like that. But this one's an old one. This one, Mike, is one that we've all heard, and I've never questioned it until I woke up this morning and my brain had already thought it for some reason while I was sleeping,
Okay.
and led me down that path. When
Hmm.
I woke up, the first thing I thought to myself was, I hate the phrase when someone says, I'm so poor, I don't have a pot to piss in. Because my first thought, as soon as I tackled the thought, was, what do you even need a pot to piss in? You piss anywhere. There's never been there's never been toilets prior to a certain time. People always just pissed everywhere. People just piss.
No, they would piss in the pots. That
I
way you
don't
can
know. I'm
get it
like,
out of your house.
I've
You
never,
savage.
ever, I've been outside. I was a kid. I was a boy. I was running around. I must have peed outside 10,000 times in my life. And for someone to say they're so poor, they don't even have a pot to piss in, you would think that'd be the least of your problems if you were poor, correct?
No, it'd be kind of high up there for sanitary reasons.
You piss out the window like a normal Neanderthal.
Right onto the neighbors.
Yeah, come on, we're not that advanced.
I
That's a,
I am. I don't know about you, man.
get a can, find a can.
I'm afraid to go over to the studio now. Where
find a
were you
can on the
peeing?
side of the road and piss in a can. You really need a pot to piss in? And
Yeah,
as a pot, I don't know.
at your house, yeah,
He has
because
a pot. I
yeah,
mean,
because
even
I
poor
guarantee
people have
that's where
pots.
that phrase came about is in that time, when people still had their chamber pots, peeing in their little pot. They don't want to pee in your house
Well, that's fine
without
for
a
those
toilet. So
people.
that's where that saying came from, and it stuck
Good
with.
for those people. But listen, what I'm saying is this: for somebody to say that now, it's a stupid thing to say. It just doesn't
But
make
no, but people
sense.
know what you mean. I know what they mean when I hear it.
How about you just say, "I'm so poor, I don't have any money. I'm so poor, I don't have anything." No, I'm so poor, I don't have a pot to piss in. The piss is the one thing that you could literally do in this world for free at any given point. Maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the point of the saying. Maybe because it literally goes against making sense. You know what I mean? Because you don't
I
need a pot. You're that poor. You don't even have. I don't know. I
I
hate
think
it.
you're digging way too much into this.
Well, that's what my mind set up for me this morning. As soon as that was
Why?
on the
God,
tray on my breakfast in bed tray was this thought.
was that thought? My
Mm.
God, there's a lot wrong with you.
Me,
You're like, you want to tell me something I don't know?
I'm the one that don't need a pot to piss.
I do. I'm gonna bring over a pot next time for you to pee in.
I swear to God, if you bring a pot here,
I will too. It'll be glorious. You're gonna love every second.
Also, I was in the mood for watching white people the other day, so I turned on pickleball. Have you ever watched? Have you ever watched pickleball? What is this? I mean, I literally turned it on, and
Mood for white people, so I watched
they never
pickleball.
really. Well, I had it
I
on for a
don't.
few minutes, and they never
I don't
really
even know
did
what
anything. I just seen
pickleball
people walking
is.
around with rackets and shit, and I'm not really even sure what was going on. Like I said, I kept it on long enough till I lost interest, and I was going to lose my mind because again, too many white people do that to you. But I was just watching, and I'm thinking, what is this? Where did it come from? Who does this, and why? Is
I
this a
don't know,
rich
but
people thing?
I'm about to watch me some pickle. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh
See,
my. Play fucking tennis. Literally,
exactly. What are
play
you
tennis,
doing?
or,
This
or
is oh.
you're one step up from badminton.
Mm-hmm.
Is really what this is. This is that. How do you get exercise out of this? You're just.
This is white people at their worst. I
How,
hate it. I hate it. I hate pickleball. Tell me a little bit what you're seeing, Mike. We
hold
see your
on.
face. Well, we'd like to know what you're thinking. We want to know what you're seeing.
This is just.
Mike is blown away by this pickleball.
I am blown away by this
What do you
pickleball
see?
thing.
Come on, you're driving me
Hold on.
crazy.
This is what I
Oh, there
see.
it is.
This is what I see.
There it is.
Look at this dude. He got
Yeah.
his compression half leggings on. Like he's gonna blow out a hammy. He's not even. He moved 2 feet.
Can you imagine anybody that you would call athletic ever playing this game?
No, like these people look like they should be able to play tennis.
Yeah. I don't
Look at her.
understand.
Look at her in the green, man. She got those. She got her game face on.
Yeah.
She is out there ready to dominate. I mean, look at her. Look, she is
Look,
like she's not taking any prisoners.
she needs
She's
time
just
away. She
yeah.
needs time away, Mike, to play this game from yelling at her minority neighbors. Is what I'm. Getting out
That's
of
what
this.
it looks like. Like she's gonna call like the poor, the delivery guy who happens to have some melanin in his skin. She's gonna call the cops on him.
Yeah.
And harass him all day long.
Look at these
Look at
people.
oh
Look at
my
these guys. Don't you hate them?
God.
Don't
I
you just
hate
hate
them.
them?
I hate them. I'm changing the thumbnail. We're doing 45 minutes of fucking pickleball. We are changing everything about this episode, the title, everything. It's Mike's
You know what's
hatred.
funny to me, Mike? It was nobody even knew what pickleball was until before the season started. When like 4 Steelers got a there was a picture that went viral of them guys after a pickleball event. And it was Highsmith, Watt, a couple other guys.
Yeah, of course, it would be them.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, nobody would have even known or even cared, in fact, what pickleball was if that picture had never been produced. I believe.
Like there's another podcast I listened to, and this one guy, he plays a lot of tennis, him and his kids, and he was just going off on pickleballers on it, like because they're taking over tennis courts. They want like courts torn down and put pickleball things up. This is a fad,
Yeah,
and
like
they're
tetherball.
going to get bored with it here within the next couple months. Like pickleball,
And the name is stupid.
like that's like something like me as a fat guy should be out there playing, but even then for me it'd be too slow. Do you see how slow they were hitting that stuff? No, get out there and whack that shit around. If I'm playing a sport, I may be big and fat, but I want to sweat, man. I want to feel like I played a sport, because that's how when I was younger and in shape, he says in air quotes, you get into it, you get the competitive juices flowing, you get a good sweat going, your muscles are moving, you're feeling it. No, this is for like old people at the old folks home. This is something I'm going to be playing when I'm 80 in the old
Mike,
folks
this
home.
might be for you. You know that, right?
No, it's not. Fuck no. That is too low no.
And what are they using? That's like shoebox lids is rackets.
Yeah,
I mean, what is this?
Hold on, I'm pulling this thing back up.
That's all we need is more white people on our screens, Mike.
Right? So I tune in to watch. I tune in to watch the white people play sports and talk
Watch
about
this, everybody.
Look at this.
And then there's this
he's
fellow
a
that
pro.
has to
He's a pro.
he has to tell it. He's a pro.
Look at
this game's been around for what, 15 minutes. And this guy, he's a pro.
He's a pro.
Watch me hit the ball over the net. Wow.
Look at that. Oh, look at that backhand. That's making Serena Williams proud.
I mean, is it
like
it's like a wee tiny little tennis court?
Yeah. It's a half.
Here comes the pro. Watch the pro. The pro hits it. Look at this.
Right, you're talking on your cell phone playing the game. You can't play. Look at this guy. That guy in the red got into it, man.
Yeah.
How you could have made that. I was
literally getting a hand job during this game of pickleball I played.
Look at how do you miss that shot? This is look at little backhand, little
now that guy's athletic.
Yeah.
But he's just a really good pickle player. He's not athletic. Oh, yeah. He's just a really good pickleball.
Like, are you allowed to leave your little square? It does not look like you're allowed to leave your square.
I'd leave and go home.
No,
I wouldn't even want to be in that little square.
I would like in doubles tennis, everyone's playing. One person's guarding the front, the other's playing the back. That thing looks like a generic wiffle ball.
It looks like like an orange with the peel.
I hope those kids in the background that are playing baseball, I hope someone hits a dinger and beans one of these people in the face.
That's what beat the shit out of them with the bat.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping for one of those kids to go yard, hit someone, and do the back flip or the bat flip, and just trot around the base pass real slow.
I hate that game. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, this might be the only sport I physically hate. Like I'm not a fan of baseball. I don't hate baseball.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of highlight. But I don't.
Do you think this is
I am a fan of highlight. Highlights the shit.
Mike, do you think that this is something that could grow on you over time? Maybe you just don't like it because you're not familiar with it. But after watching it several dozen times and maybe participating, maybe this might be a newfound love of yours. You might be you just might be a pickleball guy.
You're stuck in that little fucking area.
Is that your hang up? Is just that little area you're not allowed out of that
it's
area?
So small. Like even if you get rid of that, open it up to where you can play both squares, it's still not. You're not covering a lot of ground. You're not moving.
No, they weren't even moving their feet. Yes. They were just moving on top of their bodies. Is what they were doing.
Barely. That's fine. That's fine. Even me with my bum ankles and knees, I wouldn't get out there and move around. See what I got left in the tank.
That sport makes me hate the sport
I have to play at my advanced age and weight. I'm not going to play any sports ever again.
It made me hate the people play. Mike, I'll never see them people in my life. I never know. We don't know them. I'll never know them, but it makes me hate them. I hate those people now.
It does. I hate. I want to find like pickleball places in my area and go there and heckle because they're all in public places, and I'm going to heckle them.
We should do this for the show.
I'm just going to go there and heckle them. I won't be harassing them. I'm just going to be harassing the sport of pickleball. I won't be making fun of them. I'll be making fun of the sport.
No, you'll be making fun of them by the end.
Oh, yeah, I will. At the end, 20 seconds in, I'll be.
Mike, they're changing that down here by the studio where they have the hockey ice arena.
Yeah, with those
they're changing that tennis court into a pickleball court.
That's bullshit. That's a nice little tennis court.
You might as well tear the ice arena down and put a tetherball.
Might as well. This is.
Build
your own pickleball park.
An amateur kind of game I like. I really enjoy. If you've ever seen these videos, I think that you would agree that they're quite satisfying. Mike, is the people that are playing this wiffle ball, competitive wiffle ball. Have you ever
No,
seen
that
these?
give
Where
me
the
give me
pitcher, they
competitive.
throw the ball and it's like 10 feet behind the guy, and then at the last second it
Mm-hmm.
curves in and just goes right over the plate. And there's no
Mm-hmm.
catcher. There's just a strike zone thing back there. And if you hit it, it's a strike. If you don't, it's not a strike.
Mm-hmm.
Very basic, very simple. I there's something about this which I guess you would call organized wiffle ball. But there's something about it I do find satisfying. If I come across a short or reel, a TikTok, anything, I will watch because I know it's going to be an amazing pitch
Oh
or some
yeah,
kind of amazing walk-off home run. I can see myself getting into wiffle ball.
me too. But I just can't with with pickleball.
No,
The
pickleball
fastest
hurts.
growing sport in America.
You know,
Get the
that really shows you where we're at. That really speaks volumes. We can't even come up with cool shit anymore, dude. We're at pickleball. This is where we're at in time. Put a man on the moon over 50 years ago, but we can't come up with a game other than pickleball in 2023.
it,
I don't believe it.
it, I can't. I can't. Like, okay, right now, this right here, I just found a video, and it's saying this. And folks, this is why pickleball is the greatest sport in the world.
All right, here we go.
I don't even know what I'm doing. I am just like so irate right now.
All right, here we go.
Let's take a look at this.
Now this is professional pickleball. I take it because look
Look
at
at this.
Look, they're not leaving their square. You have to stay in your.
Oh,
Wait,
this
she
is
left the
so.
square.
So exciting. So
So what,
exciting.
Mike? So wow.
It's
wow.
being hit at like 2
Well,
miles
that
an
is
hour.
kind of something to this because it's not hitting the ground. That's something that might be maybe the challenge of it. But
What?
see, even when it hits the ground, they still hit the pickleball. So what's the rule, Mike? They're leaving their squares. Look, hold on, wait for this other lady. She always comes. Look right there, and then
The crowd goes mild. The crowd goes mild.
Well, the packed house of 6 could only be so loud, Mike.
Oh my!
That was something. I assume that was some kind of maybe the professionals because they dressed.
But I'm sorry, that does not rank anywhere of okay. So it was like 4 women playing. That does not rank anywhere near like when. No, give me Serena, give me Venus, give me Martina Hingis, Martina Navratilova, Steffi Graf, Monica Seles.
My thing is, why aren't they hitting it real hard trying to get it by the other people? It's almost like they're hitting it directly to the other team.
Yeah, it literally looked like it was like a choreography, like it was a pro wrestling tag match of like, okay, we're gonna put on a show here, boys. Let's
Even
get
in
our 5-star rating.
they spike it off of each other's heads.
Yeah, you're trying to get it around it. This one, it literally looked like they were just hitting it at each other until the very end, and they like boom, slam it down.
I hate them.
Normally, I don't like shame people for whatever they get for their exercise entertainment. This one, I will. Right, buddy? Right. What are you looking for, bud? Who do you want?
I think while Mike handles his off screen affairs, I will go ahead and brighten up your day with a little bit of.
No, I said hump everything. What? Too much.
And it is hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day, everybody. We're halfway there. We're at the top of the mountain. We're at the climax. We're getting ready to go over the hill. Mike, we do have a few things I want to talk about today. Last night, a big game, Mike, in the ACC college basketball. The Pitt Panthers, over the weekend, they upset number 25 North Carolina in conference play. And last night, they played number 11 Virginia in a very good game, Mike. It was a great game. We were down by 10, I think, at the half. The Pitt Panthers come back to pull off the upset over number 11 Virginia, 68-65. Mike, this is the back-to-back wins against ranked teams in their conference. They're off to a hell of a start. They're 4-0 in the conference. I think they're like 11-4 overall, give or take, but 4-0 in the conference, starting off with these huge wins. I mean, Mike, this team might just be right in the mix of it this year when it comes to March because you come out and you usually the Pitt teams, they usually lose these couple games early because they're the bigger teams. But you come out and you beat North Carolina. You come out, you beat Virginia. This Pitt team, Mike, if you watch these guys, there's something special going on there.
Yeah, they have improved. Like, my God, you look at the third game of the season, they got blown out by Michigan, 91-60. in their next couple losses were close games. They 4-point loss to VCU, a 1-point loss against Vandy. Everyone else, they have really, it looks like they've dominated everyone. This nice 2-point win and then the 3-point win. And Virginia was 11th, North Carolina 25, knocking off two top 25 teams. And for where this program was, the past couple years to where they are now, how can you not, I'm not a big Pitt fan, but how can you not be excited if you're a Pitt fan, Pitt basketball fan, you got to be excited. John Cable, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I thought this guy was when they first hired him, I was like, oh my God, they got Mike Krzyzewski's #1 recruiter. I thought he's going to do good things, and then the program really didn't do that well. But now you're seeing it. This is why you don't fire a coach right away.
Yeah.
After a few years, you can let them build the program, and hey, it looks like it's going into the right direction.
And I understand the mindset of a fair-weathered fan that might, you might need a couple good things, a couple big things, a couple good wins, a couple big wins to kind of get like the fire under your butt a little bit. And I think that that's what this team is doing right now, Mike. I think they're able to, they're grabbing your attention. They're saying, hey, watch us. We're going to beat, we beat North Carolina. We beat Virginia 2 games that people probably didn't think that we should have won or were going to win. But like I said, for fair weather fans, these are those couple things that have to happen to get your attention and to pull you in a little bit. And, maybe they will start getting the support. And, the more support, the louder it gets at the games, the louder it gets, the better it is for the home team, the better it is for the home team.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? I like it. I believe, like I said, for people who generally aren't paying attention to Pitt basketball and college basketball in general, these couple wins are something that might, tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, this is going to be something big this year, possibly a nice run, pay attention to us. So I did. I really, Mike, when I seen this game, like I said, I was following it and they were down and they came back and just in the second half and they were really the team that dominated, led by the point guard -- 0, Nelly Cummings. Mike, now he's from right here in our backyard in Midland in Western Pennsylvania.
Yes.
He went and played at Colgate right out of high school, where he went to Lincoln Park. And now he is at Pitt. He's the starting point guard. He didn't score a gazillion points. I believe only had a handful last night. But you know what? When you watch Nelly Cummings play, there's something special about him. This is the guy I want bringing the ball up the court every game. When you play a number 11 team, when you play number 25 team, when you play Miami, who's I think 14. This is the guy. You ever get that guy that you just have no doubt about, and you're like, you know what, I trust him. Take the ball, go do what you do. He's that kind of guy, Mike, and I think Pitt's very, very fortunate to have him.
Yeah, he's let's see, averaging 5.1 assists a game. That's not bad. This team right now they're sitting second in the ACC. Second in the ACC, right behind Miami. And they got a couple big games coming up. They got, they're at Duke on the 11th. That's going to be a huge game. They don't play Miami until the 28th. So
what if we beat Duke? What if we beat a few other teams? What if we beat Miami? I mean, we're going to February with some a damn impressive. You know what I mean? It could happen, Mike. It could happen. This could be the year.
It could be. They could.
Somebody in the Steel City needs to win something here before I lose my freaking hair.
You know what? Right now, because I was reading and listening to some other radio stations, they were talking about Pitt basketball. Right now, the committee is and everyone, they're really not giving Pitt the love.
Yeah.
Which it kind of sucks. They've had this recent success in these past couple games, and and they're sitting number 2. But I think it's like right now, everyone's waiting to see, okay, is this the real Pitt team? Right. Have they finally improved it to where people thought they were going to be?
That ain't Pitt sports in a nutshell.
Exactly. You have to wait and see on these on every Pitt sports team. But no, it's kind of unfair to them, but also, I think it's also kind of justifiable just to see, okay, is this just, are you peaking too early, or is this like a mid-season aberration for this team? Or do they have something going here? If they if they can keep winning these upset games, knocking off the teams that no one thinks they should, that's going to help beat the teams you're supposed to. But if they lose to Duke or lose to Miami once, I think they play Miami twice, that really shouldn't be a black eye. That should not be held against them, because you've had some upsets. So if you
even
keep doing
Miami.
that and lose to like Duke and lose to Miami once, I think that would be good enough to get them into the tournament.
Absolutely. I'd like to start seeing a little bit more love come their way as far as,
Yeah.
excuse me, rankings and everything. But like you said, maybe if you beat a team like Duke, you'll just,
Mm-hmm.
that'll certainly help. But like I said, you're beating a team that's number 11.
Mm-hmm.
A North Carolina team, despite where they're at. I mean, they're North Carolina. They get the top basketball recruits no matter what.
Yeah.
So those 2 wins, those are 2 strong wins. And you know what? Even Miami sitting at 14 is lower than Virginia's 11. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that doesn't really say that they're out of the ballpark either.
Mm-hmm.
You just never know what you're going to get with Duke because they are always one of the top programs in the country. So
Yeah.
that's going to be the one, Mike, I think that we mark on the calendar because if you win this game against Duke, I think then you start to get that national attention.
Yeah. Right now, Pitt's ranked at, in the conference standings, they're ahead of Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like acting like I'm a Pitt fan. Pitt's
Mike is a rock. He is the mascot. If nobody knew that, that is him. He is the Pitt mascot.
Well, Pitt's 4-0 in the conference. Duke's 2-1. But
Yeah.
overall, Pitt's 11-4. Duke's 11-3. You have to think though, like you said, man, Duke gets the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
But you never know, man. You never know.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
It always looks nice from your resume. Hey, you beat Duke. You beat Duke.
Absolutely.
So,
especially if you beat a North Carolina and a couple ranked teams.
Yeah, but don't
because you don't want to be that. You don't want to be
I was
that
gonna say-
team that we talked about like yesterday. We were talking about some college teams, and Pitt's football team is certainly included. Once you get to a certain plateau, you tend to, you can't get past it or stay there.
Yeah.
You get there and then you lose, and then that always seems to happen here with the Pittsburgh teams. But
I just don't want them to fall into the trap like a lot of these teams do that. They get the upset win and then go back and lose. Like they have Clemson coming up next.
Yeah.
You have to beat Clemson because Clemson's right there. Clemson's third in the conference. You have to beat them. Then boom, you're followed up by Duke. You have to beat Duke. Then Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's in the bottom. But if they beat Clemson, they beat Duke, look out. That Georgia Tech game, that would be the one they lose, and that's the one that's people are gonna look at that game.
It certainly doesn't get any easier.
Yeah, it's then followed up by Louisville. Louisville, who's in the bottom of the conference. You definitely have to win those. You have to beat Clemson. If you lose to Duke, keep it close. Then you have to follow that up with the losses against the teams that are at the bottom.
Absolutely, Mike. I couldn't agree more. I'm enjoying it.
I may not know a lot about basketball, but I do know how sports work, and
I'm enjoying it. I think that other people are starting to enjoy it. So let's stay behind Pitt and keep these guys going.
Like those Ben Howland teams, man, that were, they would always make it to the tourney. That like the stadium was always packed and rocking.
Ben Howland, early Jamie Dixon, those were my
that era right there, man.
That they could just never get over the
hotbed.
hump.
Yeah, but they made it. At least they made it to the dance year in, year out. That's for like Pitt. I'm sorry, that's an achievement every year to make it to the tourney. That's okay. I don't think those teams would ever going to win, but they had some nice runs. They made it to the dance. Fuck yeah.
Speaking of Pitt, Mike, the other day I made a comment. We were talking about the unfortunate incident with Hamlin in the NFL. I had said, was he in a big injury? Was there a big injury earlier with this season? And we were stumped. It was Dane Jackson, the cornerback, who's also out of Pitt.
Yes.
He had that bad injury earlier this season, and I got the two mixed up because one's a safety and one's a corner, and they're both out of Pitt. But it was
both defensive backs.
Yes, it was the cornerback Dane Jackson. As far as DeMar Hamlin goes, Mike, there is no real updates as far as we know. He's still in the hospital. They're trying to get him to breathe on his own, still having a difficult time doing so. So just keep hanging there. Keep your thoughts for this young gentleman, hoping that he pulls through.
Yeah, the only updates that I am trusting are his uncles. I believe he's being the spokesperson for the family. If it's really not coming from him, I just be skeptical of the sources.
Also, Mike, college sports national championship. The time has been announced. Obviously, everybody knows the game is Monday, but the official time is 7:30 Eastern. 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. That's down at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. The game between number 1 Georgia and what was TCU 3?
I believe so.
It was 1 and 3, I think. So this, what? I hope them Horned Frogs at least. The thing about these kind of games, they kind of get you because you beat a team like Michigan Get everything hyped up, get everybody hyped up,
Yep.
and then you come and lay an egg against a team
Yeah.
like Georgia, which, I mean, there's not many
Yeah.
teams that don't lay eggs against a team like Georgia. But I hope the Horned Frogs could at least make it interesting. And if they could win this, Mike, it would be so amazing, and it would give so many other teams that don't get in there constantly and often, a little bit of a ray of light. The transfer portals, from what I understand, is helping teams like TCU.
Yeah.
And maybe, this could be encouraging for
Mhm.
teams that often sit back and have to watch the college playoffs. And we also might hear in another 2 seasons, I believe they are going to be expanding the playoffs a little bit more. So hopefully
Yeah.
we'll be able to see more schools, and that will make more opportunity for more teams, more kids, more. I can't wait. I think the more the better. Not too many, but the more the better when
Yeah.
it comes to
Yep.
college football.
You have to have it at least 10 to 12, ideally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but right now I'm looking. It's funny. Like Georgia, their defense is averaging, giving up points allowed 12.8, TCU 25, and both teams gave up like 45 and 41.
Yeah.
So I hope it's another barn burner of a game. I hope
There was mad points last week.
Yeah,
I
it was,
couldn't
too.
believe it.
Like,
I
you
think
kind of feel bad for every defense involved, because every defense that played, they were pretty good defenses.
I couldn't. I think I even sent you a message. I said, I can't believe how much
You're
points,
like, is
how many
anyone playing defense?
points. It was unbelievable,
Yeah.
man. Of course, you are expecting the unbelievable, the best offensive players, but I'd like to see some of the
Yeah.
defensive players make plays too.
Yeah, that's just weird. Like college football, man, you kind of expect these like back and forth barn burner games, because you have good players, but that are going to be starters at the next level. But you also have guys on those defenses that there are elite defenses in the NFL, but they might not be playing on Sunday, but they're good enough for this college, but not for theirs. So that kind of like skews. And if your offense has a little bit more talent, it's weird.
And just remember, stay encouraged, people, because if you don't, if you're not one of the best college players out there, there is always an opportunity in
XFL, the
pickleball for
USFL.
you. You could get into pickleball and be one of the best out there. I
Pickleball,
promise you, people, pickleball. Mike, we're gonna speaking college. The last time I really paid attention to this name was when he was in college. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they brought in a gentleman yesterday, a couple guys, but the main one, the notable name, is the son of Hall of Famer Randy Moss. His son Thaddeus Moss came to work out with the Steelers on Tuesday. Thaddeus is 6'3", 249 pounds. He's been on so far Washington and the Cincinnati Bengals teams, but he's yet to play a game in the NFL. I don't know. Do we really have space for him? Do we need him? Were we just checking him out? What's the deal with bringing in Thaddeus Moss, Mike?
You never always have practice squad depth, futures contracts, stuff like that. So you always have to see who's out there, who's available talent wise, and you bring them in for a workout. If you think you see something, you sign them to like that futures contract, and you have them all off season, then all training camp to see if you have something. If not, you let them go. It's a very low risk, high reward type situation.
Absolutely, man.
So might as well like nothing against Thaddeus Moss, but when people always talk about, so-and-so's parent was a great athlete, this person, his dad was this, his mom was that really doesn't translate a whole lot.
No. I mean,
so it's
I think Mike,
unfortunate that his name was,
where it translates
son, so I think he's stuck in that shadow
is by his name. That is where I think that because here's the thing, a lot of times there's thousands of these guys that are pro athlete caliber players. A lot of them don't make it. So some guys that is the breaker. That is the well, he's Randy Moss's son.
Does he have any of that?
Right.
But hey, if it works out for him, fuck yeah.
He was in town, so we will wait to see if we hear anything on that. Mike, also, I caught Buzz. This offseason, Mike, I hear there might be bringing in competition to go for Chris Boswell's job.
Who do we got? Who we got coming in?
You know what? Well, that's the thing. There was no names, but there was speculation that they will be bringing competition in. I think Mike, I think that the Boz is one of the best. I think he's having a little bit of a slump this year. Nothing has really killed us, but if you bring a guy in to compete against him, maybe it does the same thing it did in the quarterback situation with this team. It makes you push yourself harder, makes you, sharpen your craft a little bit better and play to where the team wants you to play, because you have that guy in your ass now. Hey, if I don't do well, this guy might get my job. I think that's what it's about. I don't think the buzz is anything that we should be worrying about. But I don't think bringing in a little friendly competition to help him along is a bad thing.
Yeah, because you look at him overall, his field goal percentage is 86.2%. His worst year was in 2018. The last year he signed a big contract. This year he just signed in a contract extension, and he's having a bad year. So hopefully,
funny how that works.
Some good years, yeah. Because first year in the league, I'm going to bore people with numbers here: 90%, 84%, 92 contract gets 65%, then 93.5, 95, 90 gets a contract 69.2.
So in theory, it's going to be a good season next year.
It's going to, he should have a couple more good seasons after, in theory. But I don't blame them for bringing someone in, because my God, he could have lost us games this year.
Yeah,
because of his accuracy. And kickers, it
wasn't the greatest year.
You mess up once in a game as a kicker, you don't have a chance to really redeem yourself, because any quarterback can throw 4 picks a game or throw the game-winning touchdown, and everyone's going crazy. Running backs can fumble all game long, score a touchdown. They're the hero, but poor kickers.
Obviously, it's just not the bad performance. I mean, the subpar performance for him.
The injuries.
The injuries, obviously, it's a shame that they do play a role, but they do. You throw that in the package when you're talking about the season they had. So, like I said, I wouldn't mind. Let's see if, somebody come in. And the thing is, you don't want to lose Boz. Boz is a great kicker. And if, he does have this little pattern that he goes, we're in good shape. But it wouldn't be a bad idea to look at some other good kickers and see what's going on out there.
That's kind of how we found Boz, wasn't it? We just needed someone, and we brought him in.
Yes, Mike. In this game, in this football game, we'll talk about the Steelers for a little bit, because I have a little bit of Steelers stuff here to talk about. Najee Harris. Now he only needs 46 yards, Mike. 46 yards rushing from his second straight 1,000-yard season in his first 2 years in the league. I mean, this is a guy we was ready to ship out the door about a month and a half ago. Here he is. He's at 46 yards, and you know what? And I think that he's going to get it. And if he doesn't, if he doesn't get 46 this week against the Browns, I'll be surprised. And that's pretty encouraging, because where this team came from, and I think it's more of an overall thing than it is about Najee himself. Just the vast improvements, like the improvements that this team has made. And again, we're not playing on the same level as the Chiefs. We're not playing on the same level as Buffalo. Close. We're not playing on the same level as Philadelphia. However, who would have thought halfway through the season that Najee would be having his second 1,000-yard rushing season in his second season?
Yeah, not me though, because the way he was running, and God, it was atrocious. Yeah, you're hurt, but he was making the wrong decisions, is what it was too. A lot of it, it's hard for me to accept the fact that just because you're hurt, you forget how to read a hole, you forget how to read the line, you forget where to go. So I just wonder if he was just being stubborn too in the way he was running. But now that he's healthy and he's making all the right choices.
Did you see him run last game against this Baltimore Ravens defense? I mean, it's a tough defense, always tough to run against. Man, Najee, he looked like a horse out there.
He did. I hope this offseason because last season he bulked up. I want him to slim down. Slim down some, because he's still going to retain that power. He's still going to retain that strength. Slim down some to just get that little extra acceleration. He's never going to be a home run hitter. That's fine.
Right.
But just to slim down a little, to hit the holes a little faster, because now that he's reading the line better, you see why he was drafted in the first round. It's there. I just stop trying to hurdle everyone. Please, I don't want to see your knee twisted the wrong way. But it's encouraging to watch. And
you talk, Mike.
He has 9 touchdowns this year. 9 total touchdowns this year.
You talk about a home run hitter, and you're right. He's not quite that at this point. But one name that people just keep forgetting about is Calvin Austin III. Mike, if he could come around next season and do the things that he is hoped to be able to do, that could be such a big part of this offense. And here's the thing: we already have him. He's already a part of the team. This isn't somebody that we have to go and try to get in a draft. This is a guy that was able to sit around this year, get healthy, learn the system, learn the team, become familiar with the organization. I really can't wait to see Calvin Austin III, Mike. I'm really excited.
Me too. I just hope he doesn't turn into like another like like a Chris Rainey, Ray McLeod situation where you think you got this speedster guy and then you can't get anything out of him.
Yeah.
I just hope we can find ways to use him. Hopefully, he can hold up in the passing game. He is little. He's going to take these hits, but he watching like the films from him in college, God, you see how fast he is, and you get excited. You can't help but not get excited when you watch highlights of him. I just hope we can find a way to use him properly, and which is my God, it seems like my entire time watching Steeler football from all the way from the end of Chuck Noll to fucking and through Cowher and Tomlin now is those little speedsters we always have trouble using. Everyone can use them against us, but we try to use them. It always backfires on us. I just hope he's the answer. I hope he can be that
guy. Mike, also last night, yesterday, date wise, was the 1 year anniversary since Big Ben played his last home game as a Pittsburgh Steeler. And that against the Cleveland Browns. It's been 1 year. It's been 1 year since Ben's been gone. And also, Mike, that also brings to the 1 year anniversary since Deontay Johnson's last touchdown catch. So I know. I don't want to dislike him as a football player, but man,
that's a long time without a touchdown.
It is a long time for being the number one paid what they're paid, but I'm not really going to get into that debate. I just wanted to say it has been 1 year. I can't believe it. Here we are going into the last home game of this season against the Browns. So that's really going to, I believe, close the book. It's going to close the book. And, we're going to move forward. This to me is the changing of the guards. You got your new team. We're going to be drafting in here in another month and a half, a couple months. Yes. This here is the part to me that's really going to tell Pittsburghers it's over. Ben's done.
Which I still miss him. I still miss him.
Me too. How can you not? He's one of the best 5 quarterbacks in the history of the game.
I want to go that high. I want to go that high. Top 10.
No, he's 5. He's 5 in passing yards. He's within.
Oh,
the
okay.
He's 5 or 6.
I'll take that then. Take that. Forget what I said. But no,
But hey, whatever way you put it, you got to miss the guy, right?
You miss him, and like as much as he's still being talked about in this town, the people, even by people who say, "Oh God, I wish he'd go away," they can't stop talking about him. People like all said, "Oh, he isn't." Ben here. People who will say like, "Oh, Ben wasn't that good," but who do they compare our quarterback to? Our quarterback now to when they defend him?
How do you
compare him to Ben?
Who do you compare him to Ben? Any quarterback to? We compare him to Big Ben. We compare any quarterback, and the only ones, there's maybe about 2 that I would ever say was even ever better than him, and I don't even want to talk about them guys. I mean, we could all think, guess who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, we know who you're talking about.
Mike, but so it's 1 year. I mean, you do have Ben. I mean, he's on podcasts. He's making his voice heard. People like that. People here like that he's still present, and you know what? It's good because Ben was our guy. Ben was our guy. Like Tom Brady was New England's guy, and
he's our guy. He brought us
down the list.
Hey, right now, real quick, when you were talking about getting the team better for next year and everything. Right now, the Steelers have the 15th overall draft pick. Just want to throw that out there. So people are saying like we should have tanked
15 and 30,
15 and probably right now. Let's see. They're second, 32, 15 and 33 we would be picking because the Miami's pick right now is forfeited. Technically, Philly has the 32nd overall pick. So, we would have the 34th, but really the 32nd or 33rd.
That is good. Sorry.
But no, I was just going to say, people saying we should have tanked to get a better draft pick. Best case, we would be picking between 7 and 10 right now. And we're down to 15, possibly move up to like 17, 18. We're still going to get you're still going to get a damn good player at that pick.
Mike, also, we speaking of Pittsburgh Steelers quarterbacks, I want to talk a little bit about a quarterback who came out and made a really good impression. I'm talking about Josh Dobbs. Josh, right, Mike?
Yeah, Joshua.
Yeah,
Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs. We get so many of these backups come and go through here sometime. But Josh Dobbs, he is grabbing national attention, Mike, in his performance in his first start with the Tennessee Titans last week.
Mhm.
I was really impressed early on. I'm watching the game and I'm thinking, okay, well, the guy's smart. He's got a good football mind, but
Mhm.
NFL, I'm not seeing it. There was a lot that I'm seeing, but you know what? As that game went on, he changed my mind. He went, he's throwing touchdowns. He's winning the game. I mean, and it was Dobbs. It was Dobbs. It wasn't like it was Derrick Henry who wasn't in the lineup. It wasn't, it was,
They lost the game.
did they lose this? What
Yeah,
was the
they
final count?
27-13.
That's right. It was 27-13. But you know what, Mike? The game that he played, it really was amazing. If you would have watched him play, you would have said to yourself, I can't believe this is even the same guy that was on the sideline with his clipboard talking to Ben. But you know, one thing that he did say, Mike, he said he credits Ben, his time playing for Pittsburgh and working with Ben, really prepared him to be a
Mhm.
starting quarterback. And that's cool because if he comes around and becomes a decent quarterback, he could always turn around and say, "Hey, that was Big Ben."
That's Big Ben. I think Dobbs' ceiling is a number 2. I think he's a Charlie Batch mold. That guy who's there, who has the number 1 quarterbacks here, and he's down for a game or 2. He comes in, plays those 2 games, and then sits on the bench until needed again. And I think that's his ceiling. And not a bad career, actually, for him. I think that's how it's going to play out.
I think
I don't see him being a starter. I think there's still like some people, like other backups that are a little bit better that teams will take a chance on to try and start. But I think he's a valuable number 2.
and if he can't make it in the NFL, he always has a good career in pickleball. So hey,
You
that's always
got pickleball. Yeah,
he's a
Dobbs. Forget about that. Forget about being a rocket scientist. Forget about going
yeah.
trying to work for
Pickleball is
NASA
where it's
or
at.
Lockheed Martin. Pickleball. Fucking
We love pickleball here.
We hate pickleball here. I hate pickleball so much, and I'm gonna be fat and order a pizza right now.
You ordering a pizza? Oh, you just mean because you're a pickleball player and you're going to do that
Yeah,
while you're
because
playing.
pickleball, you don't need to do anything. I'm gonna be fat and just play pickleball. I'm gonna be out
Text
there
messaging and
eating pizza and playing pickleball with I'm gonna have like a Camelback on instead of water. It's gonna be rum and Coke, and I might pick up smoking again.
Hey, pickleball don't sound so bad now that you're really diving into it here.
I just.
Mike,
It's just so stupid, and you want. They're trying to take over tennis courts and stuff. I hate tennis.
you
And
can't
I'm defending
change tennis courts. That's the thing. They're trying to go in and take the tennis courts out to make
Yeah.
it pickleball. Why don't you just put the little square inside the square like you do with
Yeah.
soccer fields on football fields? You see it.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? Just play, the way you're supposed to play.
Yeah, or build your own. Build your own. Find a space in these parks and petition to have one built there. Don't take away people's. You're literally taking away resources from people that are using them. And
Mike, this has Mike so upset. I think we have to switch over. Mike, I think we're going to talk about today's.
The news.
Alabama. In Alabama, Mike, reportedly there was a person pulled in to the plane's engine.
I heard about this.
Did you hear this?
Yes.
They reportedly pulled into the plane's engine for the Envoy Airlines and died. Obviously, these people that get pulled into the engines, the chippers, that has to be one of the most terrible ways to die. And here's the thing: it probably happens really fast, and it probably ends pretty quick. But just that last moment, thinking, "Shit, I'm gonna die by getting sucked into the engine of a plane, or I'm gonna die by getting sucked into a chipper." That has to be a terrible way to go.
I would not want to die that way.
I would not recommend that to anybody.
No, that sucks. I'm trying to think of like something witty to say, like a funny thing to lighten the mood. I got nothing. That's like a big fear of mine.
That's as bad as it gets.
Like being eaten by a shark and getting sucked into one of those engines because you like, oh,
yeah,
you feel, oh, I would hate to, if you feel bad for him, but then he's like family, like you every time you look at a plane now. Every time you fly now.
Hey, remember that time Dad got sucked in the engine?
Yeah. Why'd that make me laugh? Because that's what my family would say. We'd be like, huh, I wonder if he's still in there. Be making those sick jokes to cope.
2 Florida men arrested for setting a house on fire with 21 people inside. Mike, 21 people. At what point in your life do you get to the point where you're setting houses on fire that has 21 different people? And I'm not saying that it's right for the people who set fire to houses that only have 1 or 2 people that they're trying to maybe kill or whatnot. But these 2 Florida gentlemen found it's necessary to set a house on fire that had 21 people on the inside.
I was gonna try and make a tasteless Holocaust joke, like they're trying out to be Nazis, getting their ovens going, but I can't make it work. So the material's there for anyone who wants to try and make one, because I can't.
It's like
these
the
people
do it at home, do it yourself kit.
yeah, like a do-it-yourself Auschwitz. These people are. I hate people. Why would you set it, like you said? Why would you set a house on fire? One to begin with, and then when there's 21 people inside, you had to have known there was people inside.
And damn well they're gonna whoop your ass if they get out. You know what I mean? There's 21 people you just tried to murder.
21 people. Well, yeah. Unless you're sitting there with guns, waiting for them to smoke them out, like you just watched Young Guns and you're ready to kill Billy the Kid. No.
Here in Pittsburgh,
hey, I do like how I went from Auschwitz to Young Guns. That's a great segue.
It's all good. I wasn't even listening. Overnight in Pittsburgh here, Mike, pizza delivery driver beaten, robbed, and abducted. Apparently, the driver, they beat him with their guns and with their fists. They robbed him, and then they threw him in the trunk of the car, Mike, and that was all I seen. Did you catch the end of it? Because I'm curious to know how this one played out.
This is a whole plot point in the movie Men at Work with Emilio Estevez.
Really?
Yes, Emilio
and
Charlie Sheen
away from people.
Yes, they accidentally abduct the pizza delivery guy, and this ties in perfectly with the last bit when I talked about Young Guns. This works out great. It's all about Emilio Estevez right now.
You thought I wasn't listening to you,
right? But you know what? Pizza delivery guys, the real men in blue. You are the real thin blue line. He's a fucking hero. Hopefully, did he make it out okay?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I didn't see the result. I don't know.
Neither
did
I hope he made it out okay. That's some fucked up shit.
And finally, Mike, a Missouri inmate executed for a 2003 murder believed to be the first transgender woman executed in the United States. Now we're being equal in this country, Mike.
That's one thing you don't want to be the first in. The first of your social group to be executed by the state.
Yes.
Jesus.
So there you have it.
That's like everyone else in the community, just like every other community, when someone does something bad, like that's not one of ours. Nope.
You're right.
Nope, we don't know them. It's like, when someone who looks like me goes and shoots up a building. No. That's not that. A fat guy community does not claim him. Okay.
Hey, I don't know this person. We are all for transgender. You do know that.
We are, but not for going out and killing people and getting set on death row.
That's all. Now that's the point I wanted to make.
That's where we draw the line.
Everybody is today's.
The news. Where Mike gets us canceled by trying to make a Holocaust joke.
Oh, man. That's always the hardest part.
It is, too, because the Holocaust in and of itself is not funny at all. But you can't somehow make a joke around it. I'm not that funny. I'm not that smart to make it work.
And he's telling the truth on that one.
I am. Yeah, I'm not that funny.
Mike, a couple quick things here. The Steelers, I just want to go over before we get into trivia and all those fun things. The Steelers, they haven't won a game when trailing by 10 or more points until week 17 against the Ravens. So again, small, but it is a step in the right direction where, you would say earlier in the season, we can't do this. We haven't done this. It is something that we were able to do, come back against the rival in their backyard, a pretty, good defensive team. And we were able to win the game when we were down by 10 points or more. So again, if you're looking for things to hang on as a Steeler fan, maybe you're still looking and hoping and saying, well, you know what, I'm not going to even pay attention unless this week and I hear they're going to the playoffs. That's fine. There's improvement every day on this team. I'm liking it, Mike. I like I said, I can't wait to move forward. I'm excited to see how next season plays out. I'm not jumping this season yet. I love this team. I want to see them go on as far as they can, but I'm definitely excited about the future moving forward. I
too.
see
Me
good
too.
stuff. I really do.
There's bright spots on the team, but don't forget there also there's a lot of warts too that
Absolutely.
that need attention, and don't lose sight of that. But don't dwell on
Right.
those. Enjoy
right.
the wins, but just in the back of your mind, be realistic. Going, hey, we got a lot.
Yeah.
We got some good. We got some
We got
bad.
we got a
gotta
lot of work
correct.
to do still too, Mike. And that's the
Yep.
thing.
Oh yeah.
If we
When
want to
our
climb the ladder and get up to where we could even be on the same level or anywhere close to those elite teams we mentioned earlier in the show,
yeah,
it's a fight.
yeah,
There's gonna be a lot of things.
we're putting up 17.5 points a game.
Right. That's got to get
That's got to improve a lot.
amongst a handful of we have some issues still. So don't
Oh,
get
yeah.
us wrong. We
Yep.
are not.
We're not
It's
there
happening,
yet.
guys. It's
They're
getting
getting
there.
close. They're getting close.
The wheels are moving in the right direction here. Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website, huh?
Dumyinzers.com, the number 2 DUMYINZERS.com. Get over there. Hey, everything you need is right there. Why go to YouTube when you can click right over to dumyinzers.com? Boom, click directly onto the YouTube link. And while you're there on the YouTube page, hey, you can check out our Instagram, our Facebooks, our Twitters, our Instas. Shoot us over an email, all that fun stuff over at dumyinzers.com. Also, there's a link to Spotify on there too. If you don't want to watch us, if you say, hey, I just want to listen to these guys in the car, guess what? You can do that on Spotify.
Here we are, episode 221. That was the best promo I've heard all year, or all the first 3 seasons. Like that was a really good one. That was very informative.
Hey, I'm finding my wheelhouse, baby. I'm like Kenny Pickett, man. I've only had like actual 4 minutes of actual game time, so you gotta let me work it out.
There you go, Mike. Also, we're live every day through the week, Monday through Friday, from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Right here, and like Mike said, this show that we're doing now will be uploaded at 8 o'clock in the evening over on Spotify. So if you just want to listen to the show, if you're just at work, you're in a car, and you could only listen, we will be over on Spotify. This particular show right here tonight at 8 o'clock.
Tonight, 8 o'clock.
Mike, we got some Browns trivia coming up. I do want to say tomorrow, join us tomorrow. We will be talking. Mike, we're going to touch on emails tomorrow. Also, we're going to answer the question: how should the NFL handle the scheduling for the last game of the season for the Bengals and the Bills? If that is not addressed in the meantime, if it is, we will cover it. If not, I want to get Mike's opinion, and we will be talking on how the NFL should cover the schedule for the last game, because you have the last season, the last games of the season, the last weekend. Everybody's going to be playing, and there's going to be that one game, which rightfully so did get postponed and pushed back. But I want to hear your opinions, and we'll talk a little bit on how we believe that they should play this moving forward. Mike, are you ready to do some Cleveland Browns trivia for this day's installment of How Well Do You Know Your Enemy?
Oh, I am ready.
I gave you a softball here. I really did, because I know that this team is near and dear to your heart. So I want to really,
they're my team. Apparently,
they're your team. Put real quick up what P just wrote before we get into the trivia, because I do want to make a comment real quick. All right, so P says, sorry I missed the show, guys. This tapering off the booze plan is sucking. We totally understand entirely, Mike, even more than I. However, I did want to throw this out to everybody. P is a good person. He does write into the show often. One of our favorite people. Just if you do hear us go off and start talking to a person named P, this is what's going on.
This is who it is.
Mike is not as crazy as you think he is. This is really going on. And this is a good person, and he is writing from Japan, all the way on the other side of the planet. So we do thank you every day, P. No sorries, my man. You're the best. You did.
I'll drink enough for us, buddy. I'll drink enough for us.
There you go. And you are here just in enough time. I got your back.
Just
in enough time for today's installment of How Well Do You Know Your Enemy? Today's question is going to be about the Cleveland Browns, because that is who the Steelers play this weekend. Play along if you'd like, everybody at home. Here we go, Mike. The question of the day is this, and like I said, I threw you a softball. So here we go. Who was the first Cleveland Brown enshrined in the Hall of Fame? Was it A, Paul Brown? Was it B, Marion Motley? Was it C, Jim Brown? Or was it D, Otto Graham? And I'll do it one more time, just so there's no confusion. Okay. Who was the first Cleveland Brown enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio? Was it A, Paul Brown, B, Marion Motley, C, Jim Brown, or D, Otto Graham? And here we go. What's the thought process? What are you thinking,
Well,
Mike?
my thought process is I feel you. Yeah, I would be fine too if I was drinking.
You thinking? Put that last
you
one
saying
up.
like the owner, like Paul Brown, yeah. Otto Graham makes sense, but also Jim Brown makes sense.
Mike, all four of these people really make sense. This is a good question. And seriously, if you don't or you do know it, this is a good question because if you know anything about football in Cleveland, these are four names that are prominent. I don't envy you. Who do you think? P thinks maybe it's just might be the owner, Paul Brown. Who do you think?
It's because I don't know when they all retired. I'm going to go with Otto Graham. It's because I think he was around longer than Jim Brown, so he retired earlier.
All right, you say Otto Graham.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Otto Graham.
P says Otto Graham sounds like something, doesn't it? Sounds like some kind of brand name for something.
Like some kind of like knockoff graham cracker.
Yeah, made out of car made out of graham crackers. Okay, that was dumb. But listen, here we go.
That was.
Hey, I tried. Shame. That was my attempt at humor. Damn it. Here we go, Mike. I am going to lock you in.
Lock it in
with Otto Graham. Mike says Otto Graham, of course. P says probably the owner. So I'm going to assume his answer is Paul Brown. And the answer is, everybody, the answer to the question of the day: who was the first Cleveland Brown enshrined in the Hall of Fame? Paul Brown, Marion Motley, Jim Brown, or Otto Graham. Mike said Otto Graham. And that is correct.
Oh,
no surprise to me. No surprise to me whatsoever. But Mike, you did get that correct. You did get it correct. Otto Graham was the first Cleveland Brown enshrined in the Hall of Fame. Only a short drive from Cleveland, Ohio. There you could find Otto Graham. So that, everybody, was the answer. Otto Graham. Mike, do you have anything before we take off today?
No, I got nothing. I literally have nothing. Nothing positive, nothing negative. Just in the middle. I am just in the middle.
All right. And like I said, tune in tomorrow. We will be taking emails, and we will also be touching a little bit on what the NFL should do, handling the scheduling of the very last game. It isn't going to be played before this weekend's game. So it's going to be interesting, Mike, to see how they do that with the wild cards starting 1 week after this weekend's games. Mike, I'm very interested to hear what your take is out on that. So, hey, everybody, we do thank you. As always, believe me, we greatly appreciate each and every one of you.
Mm-hmm.
And for Ryan, go ahead, man.
I was going to say, peace. Stay strong, buddy. You got this.
You got this, man. We believe in you. That's all that matters.
There you go. Hey, I got nothing else.
For Ryan, Mike, the two